Hey there! If you remember, in our earlier lectures, we have been using HTTPS to communicate with GitHub when we used the pull and push command. Now in this section, we have been making efforts to establish SSH connection with GitHub. Right now, we are in the terminal and it says we are in the Git with GitHub demo repository. Now let's see what is the status of our connection with GitHub. So we'll list our existing remote using the git remote command. So git remote option V for verbose, press enter, and it shows that you have been using the HTTPS protocol, which is a secure version of HTTP to communicate with GitHub. Now, since our efforts in this section is to establish SSH connection, we'll switch our protocol from HTTPS to SSH, and this is how we'll do it. Git remote set URL origin, that is a remote reference for our GitHub repository, space git at github.com :username, which is bbroy for my account, / the repository name. So the repository is git with GitHub demo. So we copy paste here with a .git extension. So since this is a long command, this is a portion that extends into the next line. So don't get confused by that. The entire command is in a single line effectively. So now let's press enter. Now we'll verify the effectiveness of the command we issued earlier by reissuing the command git remote option V, and that's great. We have switched from HTTPS communication to SSH communication format. Let's clear the screen and let's do a pull. Git pull origin master, and the pull command works perfectly, as you can see. And let's try to do a push by adding some changes to our file. Let's do ls and let's make a change to the file robots.txt. So vi ro, press tab for auto completion, press enter. We are into the vi editor, press I key to edit. Let's enter a simple comment. Comments usually start with a hash symbol. So this line, to demonstrate the usage of SSH protocol, press escape key :WQ for quit and save, press enter, and we are out of the editor. Let's clear the screen and do a git status. And the file has been modified. Let's add the changes to the robots.txt, press enter, do a git status once again, and the file has been effectively added to the staging area. Let's do a git commit with aim option for the message. So it's sample message for demonstrating SSH communication. Press enter and the commit is effectively done. Now let's do a git push to upload our changes to the remote repository. So git push origin master. Let's press enter. Whether our efforts to push our changes to the remote repository has been successful or not. And here we are in the GitHub within the Git with GitHub demo repository. Let's click on the file robots.txt and bingo! The line we added just now in the robots.txt file in the remote repository and then uploaded those changes is rightly reflected in the remote repository. So this means our efforts to communicate with our GitHub account using SSH protocol is really successful. So far, we had been communicating with GitHub using SSH protocol, and prior to that we had been using HTTPS protocol much earlier in this course. Now if you want to switch back from SSH to HTTPS, you can easily do that by issuing the following setup commands. So let's switch back from SSH to HTTPS again. First, you need to check what is the status of your connection protocol wise. So git remote -v. So this command lists our existing remotes. It is pretty much evident from the format of the URL that currently we have set up a SSH communication with GitHub. In order to switch back to HTTPS, we need to again issue the git remote command with set URL option and now origin as a remote reference, and now you need to paste the GitHub HTTPS URL. So we'll go back to GitHub and we'll copy the URL to clipboard by clicking this button as we did earlier. Now we'll get back to our terminal and paste the URL. Let's press enter and it is done. We can confirm it by issuing the git remote option V, press enter, and you can see you have switched back to the HTTPS URL as evident from this. Now you can communicate with GitHub using HTTPS protocol as we have been doing earlier in the course.